Greetings slashing friends, I'll be publishing a few builds in order for you to have a very good start on the new ladder of Diablo IV. I'll start with the Meteor Soso, which seems quite fun to play and very powerful. I'll explain everything in that video, and if it's not done already, don't forget to subscribe. I'll start with the skills, and you want to play Firebolt in order to spend your mana, Meteor for the main DPS skill, Flame Shield in order to get immune, Ice Armor for the barrier, Inferno in order to pack enemies but also to cast Meteor, and Teleport for the mobility. You'll want the Flame Shield to avoid dying. You can also use the Firebolt if you prefer, and of course Meteor as the enchantment. Keep in mind that this is the setup when you have the new unique helm, and in the meantime you'll want to use, instead of Fireball, the Firebolt to generate mana and spend mana with Meteor, because afterwards Meteor will be a cooldown spell, it won't cost any mana, and you'll want to use your mana with Fireball. Now let's talk a bit about the stuff, and you want to play the new unique helm because you'll have ranks of Meteor but also plenty of Meteor, as it will grant you one additional Meteor just with this enchantment, but also a bit below right here you have also an additional Meteor with this new unique helm. The new thing is that it will also transform Meteor into a spell with a cooldown, and it won't be anymore a spell that needs mana to be cast. Then you want some armor on your chest, armor and total armor, maximum life, fire damage, pyromancy, skill damage. For the gloves, you want the fact that you'll have meteorite during Inferno and the fact that it will immobilize enemies, and you also want on it ranks of Fireball, critical strike chance, lucky hit chance and intelligence. For the pants, you'll be playing T-Bolt Suite in order to have additional damage and mana, and for the boots, Flicker Step because they will reduce the cooldown of your ultimate. You can also think about Asus boots if you don't want to play too much around ultimate but prioritize your critical strike damage. For the weapon, you'll want to play the Meteor Shower, and now it's very strong because it's based on the Meteor damage, which was not the case before. You'll want Mastery skill damage, critical strike damage, intelligence and damage to crowd control enemies. For the offhand, you'll want to have the fact that you have additional critical strike chance when cast above 100 mana, damage reduction from burning enemies, cooldown reduction, intelligence and lucky hit chance when you have a barrier or just lucky hit chance. We'll also be playing with the Tarasha loop, and this one, X4. The idea is that you'll want to have a critical hit on the damage over time eruption, which will do a good damage and boost your global DPS damage. For the amulet, increase critical strike damage of Meteor and Fireball, ranks of mastery skills, pyromancy skill damage, intelligence, and lastly defensive stats, for example total armor. Keep in mind that you want to have lucky hit chance in order to proc the Meteor enchantment, also the X4 unique power, and lastly to immobilize your enemies. To finish the gear section, you want to have additional critical strike damage to crowd control enemies, additional life, and lastly skulls if you're capped in elemental resistances. For our friend, we'll want to play the first one, boosting your damage. You can also consider a barrier if you want to be a bit more tanky, and then you want increased duration, cooldown reduction of the skill, and damage reduction when the skill is used. For the second one, you'll want Focus Fire with efficiency granting you critical strike chance. You also want the fact that it will taunt enemy and also pull enemies to the construct in order to pack them. Now for the skill tree, you just want to spend 2 points just here in order to unlock Firebolt, and you'll take the increased critical strike damage. You also want 3 points here in order to increase core and mastery skill, 1 point here in order to heal with the Flame Shield, damage reduction with the Teleport, and 1 point here if you want in order to gain a bit of mana generation. You want 3 points in the Glass Cannon to boost your damage, 1 point to have a chance to reset these skills, 3 points in the Lucky Hit, 3 points in the damage reduction, and 3 points to grant you a barrier. A bit below you can put the remaining point just here to have 5% increased duration on your barrier, 5 points in Meteor, and the fact that they will immobilize enemies. Once you have the unique helm, you can also consider this one instead. You also want 3 points to increase your damage, 3 points to increase your critical strike damage, and 1 point here to have a chance to immobilize your enemies. we go below, we take the ultimate, the fact that it will pull enemies, and this one you don't have to take it, but you can take it if you want to have no mana cost. Then we take 3 points here to heal yourself, and lastly the K passive with Jesus Ferocity in order to boost your critical strike damage and critical strike chance. I'll finish this video with the Paragon setup, and first you want to have this one in order to boost your mastery skill damage. Then we go here, we take this one, increase critical strike damage, and we'll go just here. It's not mandatory to get this node because we don't build much around burning, but since you want to get this one, it just costs 3 points, so it's quite cheap to get this one. Then we go here, we take this node to boost your fire damage, and this glyph in order to also boost your fire damage. Make sure to have this glyph just here with the nodes here which will be boost, and then below we have this glyph, also very important to put it here because it will boost this one, this one, this one, and this one. The last one, you'll want to get increased damage to burning enemies in order to finish the Paragon setup. Thanks for watching this video. I hope that you'll have plenty of fun on this sorceress, and if you have any questions, feel free to post in the comments. I'll be happy to talk with you.